Welcome, 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 you all. Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time zone you all are tuning in with us here on Queens Who Empower Queens. Again, we want to thank you all for tuning in with us and coming back to back, sharing our platform with others, and being a part of the sisterhood. Today's topic is establishing a will. We have one of our favorite sisters here that will be presenting today a workshop. Again, it's establishing our will. Would you all please give it up and welcome Miss Catherine Iron back to the platform? Woohoo! Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm so glad to be here today.
Thank you for coming back to back and upholding our workshop for us. We really appreciate it because this is information that I believe that everyone on this platform needs to hear and receive.
Yes, it is definitely very important information. So thank you for having me back.
No problem. Thank you for coming back. So I'm gonna let you take us away.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
So good morning, Queens, from Dallas, Texas. I am a Ladies of Justice Ambassador for PPLSI. I represent Legal Shield and ID Shield services. My background is in engineering, teaching, and serving the special needs population. I work with the Ladies of Justice initiative of our company, which is focused on empowering women. And so I'm excited to share this information with you today. And before we get started, I just want to say that I am not an attorney. And the last time I checked, Miss Google, Miss Alexa, and Miss Siri are also not attorneys. So today I will be sharing general information about wills and estate planning, and specific details about your estate are great questions for your attorney. So after that, I'm so excited to share with you that August is Make a Will Month. And I know you're thinking, okay, why are you excited about that? That is not a fun topic. Nobody likes to talk about wills. That is true, but I understand the importance and really like to share it with others. So about 25 years ago, my husband died without a will. I learned very quickly what that means and what an awful experience it was. It took me about 3 years to settle his estate because of it. And then I did my own will and I thought, wow, how can I help others not have this experience? So I was walking around talking to people about wills, saying, hey, do you have your will? Please do your will. Please go find a lawyer. This is important. This is why. But it didn't have a great solution. So I, since then, have learned of a great solution that I will share shortly. And I'm so excited to share that, and also just how important having your will is. It does not do anything for us, but it does a lot for our family that are left behind. Now, the estate planning documents do benefit us while we are still alive. So let's get started with our presentation. So you'll see here on the first slide about another term for will is last will and testament. So what really is a last will and testament? It is a document that states who is to receive your property after your death, who will administer your estate, and if you have minor children, who will serve as the guardian for those minor children, which is actually very, very important if you happen to have minor children. And if you happen to die without a will, it is called dying intestate. And each state actually has laws for that and for what happens with your estate. The issue is that those laws may or may not align with your wishes. And if you have a will where your wishes are explicitly listed, then that transition is much smoother. So, as you can see here on this slide, most Americans do not have an updated will. or love letter to leave behind for their family. I know people don't like to think about it. They don't like to talk about it. It requires some difficult yet very important conversations with our family. And so I'm glad to share this information so that we understand the importance of it. And so there are actually 4 goals of estate planning. The first one is to manage your estate during your lifetime. The second one is to select an executor to distribute your estate after your death. The third one is to minimize costs, taxes, and hassles, but for both you and your family after you die. And then number 4, to provide for minor children and their care. And so those are all very important things. And I think we just get busy with life and we're not thinking about it. But if we can prepare and plan, that's why it's estate planning, things will be much smoother. Actually, near the end of our life, probably, and certainly after we die. So here's some common perceptions about wills. People say, oh, I don't need a will if I want everything to go to my kids. Some say it, I don't need a will if I want everything to go to my spouse. I live in a community property state. It goes to my spouse. That's actually what my husband and I thought. We learned that, yes, that is true, but that is not the intestate law here in the state of Texas. So yeah, the next one is, I don't have anything to leave. We all have some things. We may not have large bank accounts. We may not have, you know, a lot of land or that kind of property, but we do have assets of some sort. And if we have provided a will, that just happens much smoother. Maybe we have things we collect. You know, I as a child had a doll collection, or maybe you have some sort of collection. You want that to go somewhere specifically. The will is a great place to list that. Making a will is too expensive and takes too long. That can be true, but there are ways that it is very simple and affordable. And the last one, I already prepared a will years ago. Okay, that's great, and it's wonderful that you have a will, but it's also important to make sure that it's up to date. I know I did my will just after I settled my husband's estate, and about 5 years ago, I realized that, okay, there were definite changes that needed to be made. You know, 20 years had taken place, things had changed, and so it's also good to keep the will updated. And so here's the slide on when you should update your will. So there are a lot of different life changes that take place when it's a good time to consult your attorney about updating your will. Maybe if you move to another state, certainly your marital status changes, or you need to change the guardian for your children, or you have additional children, the loss of a loved one. All of those things are important times to look at your will. And you also want to make sure your power of attorney documents are up to date also. So this is something I recently became aware of. We think of assets like I was talking about, property, things we have, land, money, a financial account, bank accounts. We also have digital assets these days, all kinds of things we have online. That, you know, could be Bitcoin, or it could be different accounts, all kinds of travel rewards that we may, or loyalty programs we may have online. So we also want to remember those in our will and in our estate planning. So the good news is that the Legal Shield membership that I represent has a good and easy way to do your will, and also to keep it updated. So first, a will questionnaire is completed, which provides all the information to the attorney. Then There's a conversation with the attorney to discuss your estate situation, to answer any questions. And then after the will is drafted, the final step is execution of the will, which is getting it signed and notarized. And here are the estate planning documents that are included as part of a Legal Shield plan. So the will for all covered family members, a medical directive, the financial power of attorney. So that's the person when you're not able to make financial decisions, they will do that for you. And then healthcare power of attorney. When you're not able to make healthcare power decisions on your own, that person will do those. And then will update once per membership year. So there are actually 3 options or ways to start your will questionnaire. It's very simple. We have a Legal Shield app on your phone, and you can start it there. It will walk you through step by step how to give the information. And then also there's an online portal or web interface. You can do it on there. And then you can also get a fillable PDF file if you prefer to do it that way and email it in to the attorney. So there are lots of options to make it very simple. And then just a little on the digital guided will questionnaire. So you can do that both on the online web interface and also on the app. It will save the information you have put in and you can come back to it. And it also saves between the 2 locations. So if you want to do part of it on the computer on the web interface, and then you have some time when you're out somewhere and you want to do part on your phone, you can do that, and it will track it until it is complete and you have submitted it. So it really does that freedom and flexibility to allow you to complete it on your own time. So I would like to close with a couple member testimonials. So the first one is from a member in California. And they wrote, "My husband and I have been wanting to get our wills done for years. Legal Shield has made it so simple and the turnaround time was amazingly fast. Now we have peace of mind knowing we have things in order. Thank you for the prompt and courteous service. I would definitely recommend this service." And then from a member in British Columbia, "I provided Legal Shield with a challenge of preparing a will in a few days as I was leaving to travel for a month. They met the challenge and were able to help me leave papers signed, just in case. I'm halfway through my trip and enjoying the peace of mind. Many thanks." So as you can see, doing a will may not do anything for you as you will not need it, but it definitely gives you peace of mind. And it allows you to know that you are leaving that peace and that love letter for your family. And that is very important. And so I hope that this helpful information will take the mystery out of wills and estate planning. Please feel free to reach out to me in our Facebook group or through my website, which is katherineirwin.legalshieldassociate.com. With any questions, I'm happy to help you. I am passionate about ensuring that everyone get their will updated so that you do not have the same awful experience that I did. So thank you for allowing me to share this important information with you today. I really appreciate the opportunity. And until next time, thanks again. Bye.
Thank you, Catherine. We would like to thank you on behalf of Queens Who Empower Queens. I would like to thank you. And again, we look forward to you coming back again, educating us, putting us up to date for what we need to do to pass down generational wealth and leave a legacy. So, with that being said, it was a pleasure to have you on today. You have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yes,
Bye.
and you all drop down in the chat and give Mrs. Catherine Iron a round of applause, you all. Thank her for coming back to back and spreading love and spending some time with us, you all. We appreciate her. You all have a good one. We'll see you all next time on Queens Home Power Queens.